We have Wendy's.
Yeah, we stopped at Wendy's drive-thru. And you
We're not sponsored.
Yes.
All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Is TVB once again with Shane behind the camera for once.
What's up?
And Danny's here too.
Yeah, so, Coraline, the first ever Laika film from 2009, like Vitas watched it for the first time its entirety at Cinemark.
I'm kind of uncultured by Laika classics. I still haven't seen Paranorman.
Well, Danny and I saw Paranorman with each other in 8th grade.
2012, and then the Box Trolls in 2014.
I still haven't seen the Box Trolls, but Kubo and the Two Strings and Missing Link definitely made me want to go on a whole Laika spree. And like, as I've stated in like some videos I've made recently, like today I quit my job today because I'm moving. I'm moving pretty soon, and this is like our little send-off. We all decided to see Coraline on its 15th anniversary at the Cinemark Theater. And yeah, this film has been hailed as like a cult classic. Like, I'm very glad I finally got around to see this film in its entirety.
Yeah, especially because they re-released Coraline, but it's remastered in 3D.
Yeah, we had to wear the 3D glasses. Like, I was always like really impressed with its like stop motion. Like Laika, that's her whole thing. Like within the past like 24 years of animation, it's been dominated by like
no technology,
like computer animation. But it's like there's a studio that like consistently makes like stop motion animation, which is consistent, which is like why they're going to be the hardest form of animation that there is, but not traditional animation for whatever reason.
Yeah, and again, Laika, this will contain spoilers, because at this point, you've all seen Laika. You've had 15 years to see it, so...
I was at Danny and Shane's mercy, with no spoilers before it.
Yeah, and Coraline, I mean, it was based on a novel at first, so it wasn't an original, like, Laika film. And yeah, Coraline, the blue-haired girl, and,
voiced by Dakota Fanning.
Yep. Dakota Fanning, and then all those other characters like Coraline's parents, YB, the stalker, and let's see, then those two like Russian old women,
and Mr. Babensky, right?
Yeah, Mr. B. B is for Billy,
because he has the belly.
Yeah, I liked how in like the Coraline's like actual world, like YB talks, but the cat obviously doesn't. While in the other world, it's like
probably they switch voices.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Like YB's mute, but the cat, because it's mystical, it's fictitious, it's fantasy. Like the cat is the one doing the talking. I like that little spin in like this film. Like I was just like counting down the minutes, because at first like Coraline likes the other world. It's like everything she could dream of. It's so nice compared to her real life, but it's like I'm just counting the days. Like, okay, when's it gonna get scary? Because I already knew about this scene with like the green and the pink lady wrapped together.
Technically, it's not meant to be a horror film. It's kind of like more of a dark fantasy, kind of like Tim Burton.
Yeah, it's PG, but like I've been more into like this movie scared the absolute hell out of a lot of kids when it was released back in 2009.
Yeah, wait, it does have a PG rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all like creepy and horror-like, even with...
very gothic.
And, that twist with the other mother when she turns into that monster.
Yep. And the cat scratches out, my eyes!
Oh, yeah, that was...
With the buttons sewn in.
Yep, that was a clever move by Coraline to throw the cat at, the other mother.
And also, we saw this movie because it was like the 3D remaster. The 3D actually stood out for once.
Yeah, because I was saying...
Because, back when they made it all gross and stuff and decided to make it more clear these days. That's why everything's being all remastered.
It was never gross. It was just like, hey, it was a project's time.
Well, it looked gross back then.
Well, I mean, it might look gross by today's standards, but back then it was like the best they could do. But nowadays, it's like, okay, we have better technology. We could like revamp this.
That's kind of a bit of a fear these days. Everything being remastered, remade.
Right. No more originality.
I mean, yeah, Coraline is a cult classic, and with Coraline being remastered in 3D, I mean, I don't think originally, in 2009, that movie came out in 3D.
Well, I because back then, like 3D was still really new for animated movies.
The first movie that came out in 3D was Fly Me to the Moon. It got really bad reviews. I only just watched the trailer, but not the movie whatsoever.
I remember like 9-year-old me seeing the trailer for that movie and hearing about the bad critic scores. Like, wow, that movie looks like garbage.
Hell, it was garbage.
The only thing going for it was that it was the first animated movie being 3D. Otherwise, it would have just been like, you know, the Northern North of 2008.
They're just saying, like, what is this kind of...
Yeah, by this point now, people, like, barely remember Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, back to Coraline. Like, putting that aside, 2009 was just such a great year for animation.
Yeah,
we had Coraline, we had Up, which was the second animated film to be...
Monsters vs. Aliens.
We had that. We had...
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, that's another stop-motion one that was up for the Best Animated Feature Oscar that year. And Princess and the Frog.
Yep, Disney, like, their... Yep, and what else from Dream? Oh, yeah, actually, Monsters vs. Aliens was the only DreamWorks movie, like, that whole year. And, and also, Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Oh, that was a great film.
Yeah, I still prefer the first two Ice Age movies over that one, but yeah, I remember liking that as a kid.
Anything after a third sequel, that's what I probably draw the line.
Right. But yeah, like the turn of the decades are usually like I just think it's funny. 2009, 2010 was when like animation like was at its peak.
Yeah, golden age, I would say.
Yeah, because Laika, you know, because like I said, you know, at the start of this review, like, you know, Missing Link and Kubo 2 Strings, maybe I like promised myself like I'd see everything Laika puts out. Now I am psyched for Wildwood that comes out next year.
2025, and I'm sure, and expect that to be one of your most anticipated movies that year.
Yeah, and like we actually stuck around for the credits, so if you managed to see like, you know, Coraline for its, you know, 15th anniversary in theaters, stick around for the credits. They show like this cool like special feature with the creators, both the old ones and the new ones, how they like redesigned Coraline's puppet for a remaster, because apparently she's gonna make an appearance in Wildwood.
Oh yeah, like a cameo.
Which I wonder if they, because I know Laika has a very strict like no sequel policy. Like, if they do bring back Coraline to appear, like, in Wildwood or any, like, future Laika installment for whatever reason, like, how crazy would it be if Dakota Fanning came back to reprise a role for it after all these years?
Yeah, I mean, it would be like, even if Dakota Fanning were to voice, like, adult Coraline, it's like we, you know, grew up with her.
Yeah, exactly. I also like how they made her hair blue, even though she's just an 11-year-old girl. It's like, her hair is still blue, because the whole movie's, like, it's whimsically terrifying, or is it terrifyingly whimsical?
Terrifyingly whimsical.
Yeah, and its atmosphere and its tone and like the sense of humor, even though it's like really scary with the, you know, the other mother and everything on the other side.
And even that. How about that garden that they made in the other world, where they made Coraline's, you know, face with all the flowers, and you know, and even in some scenes where Coraline, like, the animation is visually striking.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't realize until you said this now, with Laika not having any sequels to any of their films, like, even if Coraline were to have a sequel, or even, you know, Paranorman, or Box Trolls, Kubo, like, I didn't know they had, like, a no sequel policy.
Yeah, maybe it's because, like, it's just, like, it's too expensive for them, perhaps, because stop motion takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and just remember, Coraline was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars.
Yeah, again, that was like, you know, the people need to like wake up and like to this day, you know, 15 years later, it's like people still take animation for granted, I feel like.
You gotta grow up.
That's right.
Yeah, and you know, technology, you know, even with computer animation, like, technology has, you know, evolved, and like, and with a lot more, like, you know, attention to detail and visual and great visuals, like, for example, like, even with 2018, because it was groundbreaking for a film like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, so hopefully Laika can, you know, break some new boundaries with Wildwood this year. Also, I liked how I saw the scene that became the meme with Coraline's dad, like, just all depressed to the computer.
I didn't even realize that was a meme.
I've seen that face before in memes, and I was like, I know that.
Yeah, you were like, the meme. Well, you know, Coraline, Yeah, again, it's a cult classic, like, you know, like, for generations, like, and even for generations galore, like, can enjoy this film. Yeah, even these past 15 years, it's been that film to, enjoy for, like, I mean, I don't know about families because of, little kids being freaked out by this film, but, yeah, I mean, yeah, again, Coraline, it was Laika's very first film, and, they did a good job working on that film all those years ago, and it's become, a cult classic, and Laika's made other, like, classics, like, Paranorman, Vox Trolls, Kubo, Missing Link, and, yeah, we'll definitely see how, yeah, like, yeah, even after, yeah, because Missing Link was their last film they ever did, and I see why it's been taking them a while for their next film.
Yeah, because Missing Link flopped horrendously at the box office, which is extremely unfair.
Yeah, and I hope Robot, Wildwood, they make that comeback with, and I know Wildwood, expect that to be a critically success film once again by Laika. And I think at this point now, I'm going to give my rating for Coraline. Obviously, Coraline gets, a 9 out of 9, because it's a cult classic.
What about you, Shane?
9 out of 9, okay. Well, based off of Danny's review, I'm just going to make this short and sweet. So, technically, Gothic film's not my favorite or any type of that, but, I mean, whoever did that, it's a real genius, but not really, I wouldn't really say for rated G. I would definitely say for PG or PG-13, otherwise that. But I'm going to go with this like a, either, I'd say the lowest would be like 7 out of 9.
All right.
Because I liked the film, but I didn't get to watch it all that much. It was just not really the best kind of, my type.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not the most rewatchable film because, it's like spooky atmosphere and everything. I'd say, like, yeah, 8 out of 9 stars. It's, again, like you said, Danny, cult classic, and I'm really satisfied if I got to see it in its entirety, especially with everything that's been.
Note, if anybody ranks this higher than that, what the hell is anybody thinking?
Yeah, and I'm happy, you watched Coraline for the first time in its entirety, because I thought that would have been one of those movies you saw back in 2009.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I just skipped, like Laika movies growing up. And as a kid, and I'm glad I'll probably, like, keyword, if I have the time for it whenever Wildwood comes around, I might do, like, a little Laika spree and do, like, a brief series of, like, mini reviews for, like, or classic reviews for, like, Vox Trolls and, like, Paranorman.
Yeah, because you still haven't watched those films yet.
But at least it's not really an overrated debate. That's the only thing. Not like Deadpool or Oppenheimer.
Barbenheimer. All right. Well, thank you for watching this. Don't forget to tickle Shane by subscribing, and Danny as well. See you later.
And Vitas.
Hee hee.